Hi, everybody. This is Sue. And tonight I thought I'd do something a little different. Um, it is midnight or very close to it. And so I decided that I would talk to you while I'm doing my dishes. There's a guy that I watch on YouTube named Joshua Alexander, and he does live feeds while he does dishes, or he used to. He doesn't do it that much anymore, but at one time he did, and I thought, well, if he can do it, I can do it. So I thought I'd sit here, I'd do my dishes. They're right there in the, I don't know if I can drop that down enough to see, but see, there's my pan of dishes, there's my dirty dishes. So I've got some dishes that I've got to get done tonight. Or else I'll be mad at myself. Anyway, so like I said, it's midnight. Zach, my grandson, the one that lives with me, he won't be home from work for probably an hour, hour and a half, maybe. It's Monday night. Well, actually, in about 5 minutes, it's going to be March 14th. So it's midnight, March 15th, rather. So, anyway, I thought I'd tell you about my day. I've had quite a day. I got up about 4 a.m. I could not go back to sleep. I had an appointment, virtual appointment with the nurse practitioner for my vein doctor, and so for some reason, I was very nervous about it. I don't know why, but I was very nervous about this. And what they do is a nurse will call about 15 minutes before the appointment, and she kind of talks you through getting everything set up so that you can have this virtual visit. And so did all that, and I sat there and I waited for her to come on for 5-10 minutes. I don't know. It took a while, but I didn't want to drive all the way up to Kansas City for this appointment. It's a long drive for me. And so I've been having a lot of trouble with my legs. Several years ago, I had all the varicose veins in my legs sealed. And my legs been swelling, and I mean, like, my feet are like that big. Something's wrong. And so in January, I call it a surgery. They put 3 stents in my abdomen because I had 3 blockages, 100% blockages, 3 of them in my abdomen. And so that was part of why my heart was overworking. And so then the vein doctor kept telling me, you've got to wear these compression socks. When your feet are this big around, you can't get compression socks on. They're hard to get on when your feet are normal size. And I have told her over and over, and I have bought compression socks, lots of them. Compression socks are very expensive. I've probably bought probably 7 or 8 of them. I can't get them on. So she said her usual thing. Well, if you can't wear the compression socks, then your insurance company is not going to pay up. You know, I'm getting a little sick of that one. I can't get them on, okay? And yeah, the swelling has gone down considerably since I had that abdominal surgery. I don't know, maybe it's called a procedure, I don't know. But anyway, so she told me this, and she said, well, is there a medical supply store in your town? And I said, not that I'm aware of. I said, we've got several pharmacies, you know, but a medical supply store, I assumed she was talking about like heavy equipment, like beds, you know, like hospital beds and stuff like that. I assumed that's what she was talking about, like medical supply. And I said, not as far as I know. If there is something like that, I'm not aware of it because I've not needed anything like that. I know that when my mother was dying, hospice was going to bring her in a hospital bed, but she died before they got back with the bed. Anyway, I told her I didn't think so, and she said, well, you need to wrap your legs. You're going to have to find a medical supply store and get the compression wraps and wrap your legs. If you can't get the socks on, you gotta wrap your legs. And I said, I am not doing that. I said, I can tell you right now that I would be a miserable failure at wrapping my legs. And I said, I'm done spending all this money on these socks, and I'm not going to go to wraps. It's not going to happen. And she wasn't too happy. She really wasn't too happy. And she said, well, you either got to get the socks on or you've got to get the wraps. Your insurance company is not going to pay up if you don't get those wraps on there. And I'm getting a little tired of that threat. And so anyway, so she and I finished up our conversation, and she said that her nurse would be calling me, or somebody, maybe it was the scheduler, I don't know, to make my next appointment. I said, okay, fine. So I had things to do. I went to Walmart. I had things to do. And so I was doing the self-checkout at Walmart. And I don't know if you've ever been to Walmart, but it's a noisy place. And at least the one in my town is. There's always a crowd of people in there. I don't care what time of the day or night you go in, it's crowded. And so I was at the self checkout, and this woman called to schedule my next appointment. Okay, I don't have a calendar with me. And she said, well, what about June 15th or something like that? I don't remember. And I said, to the best of my knowledge, I don't have anything going on in June. I said, yeah, that's fine. And I told her, I said, can I have a virtual appointment like this one was today? And she said, yeah, I think so. So she scheduled me for a virtual appointment in June, so that's fine. And she said something about, you'll have to get the socks on, start wearing those, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'm sick of hearing about the socks. I'm sick of it. And so I got through talking to her, and while I was talking to her, I finished checking out and left the store. And for some reason now, Walmart has started blasting this radio, Walmart radio, across the parking lot. You can't hear anything because of that loud. Anyway, so I was trying to talk to her. I was at my car, putting my groceries in the car, trying to talk to her, and she said, what is that noise? And I said, oh, I'm out in the parking lot. That's that music that they're blasting across the parking lot now. And so anyway, so I got home. Zach was up by the time I got home. He was up. And so I said, you take over everything, because I'm done. I'm exhausted. I'm done. So he put everything away. And so in about an hour, another lady called me. And she said, Sue, she said, I understand that you're having a problem with these socks. And I said, yeah. I said, I am having a problem with these socks. And I said, I'm not spending any more money on this. I said, I have invested in I don't know how much. And I said, forget about putting thigh-high socks on me, because I paid like $60, $70. It was close to $70 for a pair of thigh-high socks. And I didn't even realize that they were going to be thigh-high until I got them. And they had mailed them in an envelope in the box, like the display. Well, in the transport with the post office, the box was crushed when I got the socks, and the socks were just loose in the envelope, and so suddenly that became my fault. I'm not the one that packed that. And so anyway, I was not too happy. And silverware. Anyway, so this lady called me, and she said, I understand that you're having a problem with the socks, and you're not too thrilled with the idea of buying the wraps. I said, I'm not buying the wraps. That's all there is to it. I'm not going to do it. I said, I have invested about $200 in these socks, and I'm not happy. And she said, "Can you get a pair of socks on?" And I said, "Yeah, I was able to get a pair of socks on this morning." And she said, "Fine, you've worn them for today. Day one, you've worn them." She said, "Now," she said, "just put them on in the morning when you first get up, wear them for about 15 minutes, and then, the next time she asks you if you've been wearing them, just tell her yes." She said she's not going to know whether you're wearing them all day or 15 minutes. She's not going to know. And I said, okay, so that's great. This is getting full. So then, this afternoon, after I had this conversation, this was in the morning now, in the afternoon, I went to the bathroom and the toilet didn't flush. Well, the toilet did flush, but it didn't refill like it's supposed to. And I tried to wash my hands and there was no water. I thought, oh no, I didn't realize there was no water. And so I called the office and talked to one of the managers. We have two managers. They're new. We go through managers like water here. Nobody wants to do this job. And so anyway, I called and I said, "How long is the water going to be off?" And she said, "Oh, I don't know." She said, "We have a water main break," and she said, "They need a part and they can't find it. They're going to have to order it, and hopefully they'll get it this evening, and the water will be back on sometime tonight." And, okay, so that means I'm out of water for an indefinite period of time. Me and everybody else. It's not just me, it's everybody else that lives out here, because I live in an apartment complex. I live in a senior citizens apartment complex. I am 73 years old. I'm a senior citizen. And so I don't have much left, but I really need to change the water. I'll just go ahead and finish this up with what I've got. So anyway, I was like, oh great. So I thought, well, I've got to go out and buy gas anyway. And Zach's alarm went off. Oh, well, that's odd. Because I thought he had today off. I really did. I thought he had today off. He works nights at Domino's. He works in the kitchen. He doesn't do deliveries. He works in the kitchen. So does my other grandson. My two grandsons work together at Domino's. And there's 9 years between them. My two grandsons are Storm. Well, his first name is Joshua. Storm is his middle name. We call him by his middle name. And Storm is 9 years older than Zach. And so they didn't really grow up together. And then Storm, when he was about, I don't know, 12, 14, something like that, he went to live with his dad for a while. So he was pretty much raised by his dad. And so Anyway, so, but they're still brothers. And, you know, there's still that bond between them. And, so, their mother, my daughter, she died last August. She'd been sick for a long time. And, she finally just passed away. But we had known for a while that she was not well. And so anyway, they worked together at Domino's, and Storm is Zach's boss. Yeah. So here you've got a bossy older brother who happens to be your boss at work. It doesn't go over well. So now I have the skillet to wash, electric skillet. This is my stove. I don't use that stove very much. Just don't. So anyway, this is the end of the dishes. I've still got to like clean the sinks and things like that. But I'm coming to the end of the video, and I'm coming to the end of my story. If I can remember where my story was going. So anyway, let's see. Anyway, Zach left. I left thinking I left the house thinking Zach had the night off. And so I went and got gas, and then I kind of wanted to get something to eat because the water was off. So I kind of wanted to get something to eat at one of the drive-thrus, but nothing appealed to me. I kind of drove through town. I was like, nothing here appeals to me. And this is a college town, so we have a lot of drive-ins. And we also have an Air Force base. So we have a lot of drive-ins because we've got, not only do we have college students, but we have Air Force personnel too, because we've got a big Air Force base here. And it's a full town. It's a small town, but it's a full town. So I just wasn't in the mood. So I went back home. Well, Zach is waiting for me by the front door, and he comes rushing out, and he said, I gotta go. I'm gonna be late to work if I don't leave. And I said, well, I thought you were off tonight. And he said, no. And I said, well, I asked you earlier, and you said that you were off. And he said, I don't remember you asking me. And I said, well, I did. So, anyway, I just took aluminum foil off of the pizza pan. I'm just going to rinse it off a little bit because it's not really dirty. It's rusted, but it's not really dirty. So, I mean, it's rusty, don't know if you see that or not. This pizza pan. It's rusty, still works. I just wrap it with aluminum foil. You know, I buy the expensive stuff that's got the Teflon coating on it. And so now, except for cleaning the sink, I am done. Now, I've had people tell me you can't use cleanser because it scratches. If you know how to use cleanser, it's not going to scratch. So, put the cleanser in like this. Like that. Can you see that? Put the cleanser in. Don't start right now trying to wipe that down. That's not what you do. Turn the water on, because the next thing you're going to do is get this stuff wet. Get your paper towel and get this stuff wet. It has to turn into a very soupy paste. Now, just take this and make sure that your paper towel is super wet so that your sink looks like this, and you run it around like that. Get everything good, shiny and clean, and if you happen to have two sinks, which I do, get down in there, clean that out real good. Make sure you get all the crud that's in there. And come over here, do the same thing. Make sure that's real wet, because dry cleanser is going to scratch. Wet cleanser is not. And so now we've got everything cleaned up. Throw that away. That's done. So now we're going to rinse it out. And turn that on. Get your sprayer, if you have one. Rinse that all out real good. And see how nice the sink looks. And voila, the sink is clean. Didn't take long, done correctly, and now it shines and it's pretty. And so now I am going to tell you good night. It is 12:20. So we've been talking now for 29 minutes, and I'm going to say good night and go to bed. So good night, sleep well, and I'll see you in the next video.